Tottenham's terrible week gets even worse as they lose 3-0 to Brighton. Hugo Lloris off after making a mistake for the opening goal inside the first 3 minutes. He's got a dislocated elbow. It's officially a crisis, isn't it, Stevie?
Well, absolutely. You know, I thought a couple of weeks ago when they were down to 10 men and they held on to win 2-1 at home against Southampton, I thought this will galvanise them. I thought this would be the turning point. Oh my goodness, could I? I couldn't have been more wrong. Losing 7 against Bayern and then, I mean, being pretty much humiliated today. Listen, Brighton, you have to give them credit, but Brighton's a team that are going to be struggling to avoid relegation. And they've absolutely annihilated a team that, 5-6 months ago was playing in the Champions League final. Mm-hmm. This team has fallen apart. And I think it just goes to show, if anybody ever thought that the psychological side of the game wasn't that important, this is what you're seeing right now with Tottenham. Because this has got nothing to do with ability. All of those players that you're watching today were the same players that got to the Champions League final. So it tells you that the psychology of the game is really important. And right now, Pochettino, he's going to have to be a psychologist, because this is not about formations and X's and O's. This is about what's going on in between his players' ears. And he has to find a way of getting through to them. Because right now, everybody's got the blank stare. I mean, you watch them playing in this game. I'm not going to say they were going through the motions, but when you're in the sort of position they're in and the mental state they're in, then you're not playing your normal game. Everything's a struggle. Everything's hard work. And then you look at the other side of the coin with Brighton, who see the opportunity against a team that are down, and they take advantage of it. And so right now, I mean, this Tottenham side and the manager himself, this is a real test. It's
the relationships, isn't it? Once they're broken, in football, it's irrevocably broken. I mean, you've got players who want to leave the club. You've got a manager who doesn't seem to be able to inspire them. Humbling defeat doesn't seem to inspire them to fight back. Everyone's fighting for themselves.
Well, you've got so many things going against you, you know, and it's bad enough when your players lose form. And that happens. And unfortunately for Spurs, they've got at least half a dozen that have completely lost their form. But the more worrying thing would be that, you know, the rock that Spurs' defence was built on was Alderweireld and Vertonghen. The two of them, number one, don't want to be there. They've already expressed that they want to go somewhere else. And the form has completely disappeared. You've got Hugo Lloris in goal, who unfortunately got injured today, but has been horrendous this season. I mean, look at the middle of the park. Harry Winks is a good Premier League player. He's not playing in the top teams in the world, in my opinion, and he wasn't even starting. They're just in such disarray that you actually wonder how does he get them back on track?
What would you be saying to them? How would you somehow get them to refocus and get up for the next game?
I'll tell you what I would do. I would get them in the dressing room and I'd say, you know what, go home and don't come back for about 3 days. Just go away. Forget about football. Just don't come back for 3 days, and just let's try and sort of start again. Something like that. You have to come up with something, and what he'll come up with will depend on the makeup of his players. He will know the psychology of his players, you know, individually and as a group, and that's what you get paid your money for. Yes, you get paid to organise the team and pick the tactics and all these other things, but I'll tell you what, most of your money is paid to figure out how to press the right buttons. And right now, he can't find the right buttons to press.
Yeah, it's unfortunate timing with the international break looming as well now. They'll have to go away. Unfortunately, a lot of them won't be able to go and forget about football, but they will be forgetting about Tottenham perhaps over the next week or so. We'll see what happens when they all return to training and the Premier League campaign resumes. But it is very, very grim reading for Pochettino and Tottenham fans right now.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.